Welcome to the second segment of our overview of organizing for power using the COG method. We made this video because we want you to approach your campaigns like a master organizer. This segment continues our series of overview videos. It introduces another aspect of essential conceptual knowledge. It explores the critical know what and know why of organizing. Specifically, it illustrates how organizing for power functions as a fundamental organizing approach. This segment builds on our first organizing video. Our reason is critical. Organizing approach and organizing method are interrelated. Organizing purpose drives the appropriate approach to organizing. The need for effective action drives the proper method for organizing. Understanding and then building on this interrelation is not only vital, it is one of the essentials of organizing. We developed the Organizing for Power approach to work with an exceptionally effective organizing method, the COG method. In combination, they create a mutually reinforcing system for both building and applying union power. The illustration now on your screen is a graphic representation of the relationship between the Organizing for Power approach and the COG method. Let's get started. As we've emphasized before, to build and apply power, unions must always start out right. Acknowledged or not, people intend organizing to build and apply power. Regrettably, we have seen all too many union campaigns over the last few decades that did little more than mobilize. This mobilizing produced comparatively small, short-term gains. Even when these mobilizing campaigns did achieve some modest objective, it was not lasting. Within a matter of weeks or months, what little power these campaigns built had usually dissipated. Without exception, these failed campaigns were top-down organizing. Elected union leaders or staff decided what the campaigns were all about. Elected union leaders or staff decided what was important. And elected union leaders and staff decided how to conduct the campaigns. Perhaps the most significant failing of these campaigns was that they used union members to achieve outcomes that only satisfied elected union leaders or staff, often with little regard or understanding of the outcomes desired by members. Members did not decide the objectives of these campaigns. Members did not guide these campaigns. As a result, these campaigns never built the long-term sustainable power needed to change the circumstances of the members. To achieve objectives that actually produce this kind of radical change, organizers must know and then use the essentials of organizing. Again, the essentials are the right way to organize. Organizers must employ these essentials to build and apply power effectively. The essentials can tip the balance between success and failed organizing campaigns. Certain essentials establish organizing for power as a fundamental approach to organizing. Since we didn't invent the term, we need to specify what we mean by organizing for power. To do so, let's explore the essential organizing for power approach a little deeper. If all organizing is intended to build and apply power, why is the organizing for power approach different? What makes it essential? Organizing for power ensures a critical outcome, the capacity to build and apply principled power. It focuses on this outcome of building long-term, sustainable, principled power. The entire purpose of organizing for power is to enable members to change their work lives as an integral part of the world they live in. Of course, this involves organizing to change members' immediate working conditions. This can also entail organizing to change members' control over their work. However, organizing for power doesn't end there. Organizing for power can be a tool for social change as well. Organizing for power can change the world as it is into the world as it should be. Organizing for power can build principled power. The approach is the most effective when unions merge workplace and non-workplace relationships and issues. In member-centered, bottom-up campaigns like Organizing for Power, members can win life-altering improvements. Members can win these tough campaigns by structuring their own relationships into their organizing. The relationships and connections union members hold with family, religious groups, clubs, teams, and other outside activities can be decisive. As a result, Organizing for Power focuses both inside and outside the workplace. With this focus, campaigns enjoy a seamless, unified approach. It is seamless and unified because the organizing doesn't stop with unit members themselves. It makes a role for their spouses and their friends. It accounts for connections beyond the workplace. Simply, Organizing for Power relies on the power of the whole worker and the whole of the unit represented by the union. The Organizing for Power approach is not the top-down organizing commonly seen in too many union campaigns. Organizing for Power is bottom-up organizing. It relies on members' commitment to a campaign. Organizing for Power starts by building relationships with a union's members. Campaigns are member-driven. The Organizing for Power approach depends on the capacity of members to make the changes they believe are necessary and important. Organizing for Power also focuses on the whole bargaining unit. Organizing for Power identifies the members of a unit who are its natural leaders. These natural leaders have influential relationships and connections, both inside and outside the workplace. This focus requires organizers to actively engage people who might have little or no initial commitment to the union, its programs, or its current organizing campaign. This approach reflects one of the essentials advocated by master organizer Marshall Gantz. He explained, "Powerful organizing is turning what you have into what you need to get what you want. Members are a union's most powerful resource. The most powerful campaigns are those designed and executed to attain concrete member goals. This focus is integral to building principled power. For this reason, attaining members' own shared goals and advancing their mutual self-interest drives Organizing for Power. This requires that unit members determine the objectives they are organizing to achieve. To be effective, unions must assist their members to identify and formulate their own shared objectives. To be effective, to build long-term power, these member-determined outcomes must be measurable. Members and their unions can tell whether their campaign is successful only if the campaign's objectives are measurable. Measurable objectives are the only reliable gauge for assessing genuine progress. Certainly, to be effective, well-conceived campaigns must organize around people's self-interest. The shared self-interest of unit members is one of the essential pillars of effective organizing. The focus on members' goals and members' interests is one aspect of the principled power promoted by Organizing for Power. But, taken alone, self-interest is not sufficient to support organizing when the objective is building and maintaining long-term sustainable power. An analogy is often helpful here. To convey an intuitive understanding of Organizing for Power, the temple of the well-known Greek god of organizing is useful. The Greek temple illustration on your screen now provides a graphic representation of the imbalance produced by organizing based solely on self-interest. Building sustainable union power over the long term depends on organizing that promotes certain essential union institutional outcomes. These institutional goals build the power needed to attain members' goals. Simply, without a powerful union, members cannot attain their own goals or advance their own self-interest. Therefore, effective organizing to build long-term power must promote these essential institutional goals. They are always essential. That's why we call them the constant organizing goals. The Greek tempo illustration now on your screen is a graphic representation of the entire array of goals balanced in organizing for power. This balance is possible because the 5 constant organizing goals are integral to organizing for power. Specifically, these ongoing institutional goals are power, leadership, alliances, communications, and evolving objectives and programs. These 5 cogs are easy to remember. The first letter of each constant organizing goal combines to form the simple acronym PLACE. They establish the union's place. The first of these institutional goals, power, requires unions to build power through organizing. To be sustainable over the long term, organizing must build principled power. The second, leadership, requires unions to identify new leaders and develop new leadership opportunities. If members are to drive organizing campaigns, their unions must provide them new and evolving opportunities to lead. The third goal, alliances, requires unions to establish public alliances and build and nurture internal and external relationships. As suggested above, its own members' commitment is the most important alliance a union can build. Alliances with members' connections beyond the workplace are always helpful. In some campaigns, these external alliances can tip the balance from failure to success. The fourth, communication, requires unions to build and implement effective communications. To build a firm alliance with its members, a union must routinely communicate with them regarding every phase of an organizing campaign. Of course, communication doesn't end with members. Unions must have effective communication with non-members as well as with allies and potential allies. The fifth goal, evolving objectives and programs, requires unions to formulate and adopt measurable objectives. Then it requires unions to implement programs that grow and evolve from attaining these objectives. Members must be able to shape this evolution. These 5 goals provide the power base for strong, disciplined union action. This segment is the end of our overview of the Organizing for Power approach. If you have questions, suggestions, or comments about the Organizing for Power approach, please email me. In particular, we welcome your recommendations and criticism of these videos, the guide, and the org4pwr app itself. As important as it is, approach alone is not sufficient. Powerful organizing also depends on an effective process. Our next segment introduces the method used in organizing for power. It explores the nature and application of the constant organizing goals method, the COG method. We look forward to joining you in this third overview video. Thank you for joining us in this overview of the most powerful and most effective approach to union organizing. Black leg of work, 'cause you know, our brothers and our sisters